Welcome to another episode of the PRODUCTBULB podcast. Here we'll have interesting conversations with leaders from a wide range of industries and expertise. Thank you for following along. Now get ready to switch on that product bulb of yours. I'm incredibly excited to introduce our guest, who needs very little introduction for anyone familiar with the world of product management. It's Dr. Nancy Lee. Dr. Lee is not only a renowned product leader, but also a mentor and an educator to thousands of aspiring PMs through a very highly popular YouTube channel and her very new product management course called PMAccelerator, where she shares invaluable tips on cracking PM interviews. I can personally say that having been through a couple of product management courses, her YouTube videos and her current course is very strategic towards helping you land that product management role. So today we are very fortunate to have her here dive into a topic that is very focused towards AI professionals. We are calling it AI engineers to product leaders, the path to PM. So yeah, I can't wait to get into this conversation. Dr. Nancy Lee, welcome to the PRODUCTBULB podcast.
Thank you for having me, Hadvarini, and thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to share everything I know with the audience.
Awesome. Yeah, we are so privileged to have you here. I think we can start with our first question probably is, can you share your story on how you transitioned into product management and potentially how it can inspire AI folks follow a similar path?
Yeah, great question. And actually, my transition into product management is a little bit serendipity because that was like 2016, 8 years ago. That was a long time ago. So when I transitioned to PM, and it's really motivated based on the fact that I actually hated what I did. I was a systems engineer at Shell Oil. I had literally no customer interactions. I work on oil rigs and everyone around me are men. I was frequently the only woman in any meetings you can ever imagine. And even if when I walk in the meeting, I was the engineers who knows what I'm talking about. People always assume, oh, she's an admin taking notes. It's just not what I was looking for. So I started to explore different kind of career opportunities. I also knew deep in my heart, I want to get into business side of things and people management, going above and beyond what engineers can do and really create products that actually impacting people's lives. And I all of a sudden discovered a new field called product management. And then the way I transitioned into PM actually only used like 3 months in total. What I did was number one, and I started to take product management courses. And actually the course I took is actually from MIT. I learned product management official training from MIT and I know everything end to end. And then I had a light bulb moment. I was like, oh my goodness. So what I did at like Shell Oil as a system engineer is actually similar to product management in terms of the kind of transferable skills. For example, I wrote product requirement documentation and sending to the engineering team. Of course, not business side, but all the engineering side of product requirement documentation I wrote it before. And I also did system architecture diagram, also working a cross-functional team, also talk to end users to understand what they want so that we can design engineering element for them. So those are very similar to a technical product manager. So I start repackage everything I did in the past into technical product management domain language so that I can start to sell myself. And the next part is networking because, even if you have the best skill set, nobody wants to learn about you. It's a waste of talent. So I started to use networking opportunity, present myself, have people refer me into different company, getting many interviews, and of course, learn how to present myself in the interview. And third thing I did is I had my own version of product portfolio. And I remember at the time when I went into interview, that was 8 years ago, I went in with a stack of examples of product requirement I have written and examples of public available information of all the product we have launched. Because it's a relatively large company, any product I have did in the past, there are some kind of PR covering. So basically, I collect all possible information to demonstrate, see, I've done related product management task, and we also have the official like PR coverage about the product I had launched in the past. I am the best technical product manager you're looking for, but of course, even I came from oil and gas industry, there's different kind of like transfer skills that can help me get into tech as a PM. So this is how I broke into PM 8 years ago.
Wow, that's awesome. Actually, this is a great summary because you can segment this whatever you actually mentioned into like three different parts and pretty much use that as a way for the AI folks to transition to product, I think. So great. So I think it's a good segue to the second question, which is, you have an amazing YouTube channel. I highly recommend anyone listening to this podcast to go and look at it, which in itself is a great example of a very highly loved digital product. It caters to a very specific target audience and has a viral factor about it. Now you have your own PMAccelerator course as well. So what's your process for product discovery to like ideation to finding that product market fit?
I love you already have the product mindset.
Great.
Yes, I do
Learn
think
from the best.
this is awesome. Yes. Our YouTube channel and all the content we created, yes, we see this as a product, and including PMAccelerator, all the courses and certifications and program we run, I also see it as a product as well. So here's how we found the product market fit. To be frank, at the beginning, took me very long time. And actually PMAccelerator itself is already 4 years old. But at the very, very beginning, I believe I started in 2019, I started exploring this field. And in 2019, how I started was I just started to do voice customer interviews, literally, to ask people what you want to learn from me, because my passion is always in education. And my long-term goal is literally build hundreds of high schools in China for kids from low-income families. And actually, last year, we started our own nonprofit called PMA Kids. And right now, we already have 4 high school students in our AI PM bootcamp for free for all those free training. I knew I always want to do education related things. But back in 2019, I have no clue what people want to learn from me. Oh, what I can do to help other people. So at the time, basically, I just had different ideas. What if I teach women how to negotiate? Because women, like literally, women usually are getting paid 80 cents on a dollar, 20% lower than a man doing the same job across the board. So maybe I teach women how to negotiate. And then I explore this. When I started to teach women how to negotiate, guess what happened? The people who learn from me, the 2 type of people, they are not young women. Either they are 50 years old, like more experienced senior women, or they are men. Literally, I was so surprised. I want to teach young women like myself, like in their 20s, were underpaid, what to say. And then all those like men and the more senior women came to me. And I started to ask them questions. Why you came to me? What's going on? And why young women does not come to me, right? And then through sequence of questions, and I discovered the next path. So, oh, young women were afraid to negotiate was because they don't even have a job, or they have one job. They're afraid to lose a job. Why they negotiate? It's their first job anyway. Just never even negotiate. Lucky they have a job, or lucky they sponsor H1B sponsorship, right? So all of the wow, maybe their pain point was not getting paid less. At least not a near-term pain point. Maybe the pain point is landing a job. Then I continue to explore, and ask more questions. So if you want to get help to land a job, clearly I got 3 PM offers. You should learn from me, right? All of those, and I start to ask people questions, also put them into different customer segmentation. There are people international background like myself who immigrant from China, and it's also people who have been educated in the US. And I also segment them based on like seniority level, like fresh graduate, more senior, all of those. And then I eventually, guess what? I talked to 300 people. 300. I just explore. I really want to find out what exactly they're looking for, because the more I talk to them, the more I realize if I teach them everything, like I teach everybody who are young to land a job in the US, they don't come to me because too broad. So just experiment, do lots of voice custom interview, keep on talking to a lots of people, test out new ideas. And then eventually I started to stumble upon product management because I was already in 2019, I wasn't a director yet, but 2019 I was just a senior product manager. So, and then later on I became a director within 4 years. Started to, well, what if I teach you product management? Would like to learn? Is that yes, exactly. One senior PM teach us product management, and then I identify product market fit. But actually that took me a year, just asking questions, talk to 300 people and test out, and of course introduce our course and evolve our curriculum and try to perfect it over the years.
Right. This is almost like a mock interview question, and you answered it so perfectly. So there you go, folks. Great. So I think this segues in nicely into the next, very AI specific question, which is, what are the key skills from AI ML professionals, like data scientists and machine learning engineers and data analysts, that are transferable to product management?
Great questions. Many very transferable skills. Number one is your deep technical understanding regarding AI. To be frank, that's your advantage. You know the differences between all the large language model, and you had experience training your own model before. You also understand how to communicate with cross-functional team, especially those data scientists, data engineers. Those are very valuable skills regarding deep understanding of AI. The second huge asset you guys had is technical decision making regarding AI product. All right. So for example, currently I have a student. He works for one of the very popular AI startup. The startup is to create tools to replace software engineer. I say the replace, but I shouldn't say replace. Basically, they can generate code. Generate code, and then help software engineers spend less time doing coding, or maybe they can triple their productivities using the AI tools, right? But when they create such very advanced AI tools to eventually replace or assist software engineer, they need to make technical decisions, right? So for example, well, how you really define the quality of the code generated by AI, right? So do we use those open source model to save costs for the company? Or do we directly do API integration with ChatGPT? Or if we do prompt engineering, how we decide what the entire user interface, how many times we need prompt, what the top good questions to prompt ChatGPT to give you the right code, right? And also on top of that, the many different kind of models, even ChatGPT, there is ChatGPT 4o, ChatGPT Mini, like many different things, like so many, Gemini, all of those, right? So those represent technical decision making regarding AI. As a product manager, okay, you don't need to know how to code, but you need to work with your data scientists to decide, oh, do we do Llama? Why or why not? Not just saying, hey, yeah, it's free. Well, there's a much more in-depth understanding. We can give you more examples regarding selecting different models and using real life examples later on, but those are technical decision making you guys have, right? Now, third part, transferable skills you guys can leverage is the opportunities to work in a cross-functional team. And actually, all of you guys had done that before. As Harini, you mentioned earlier, you're in the startup space for 8 years, and you're wearing multiple hats. Especially, I recommend people, like when you start your career, I like people working for startups, because if you only work for like maybe Google, yes, Google pay you lots of money. If you can get in. But if you only work for Google, probably say, hey, you are hired to fine tune this piece of algorithm to do ads recommendation. Anything beyond this, so taking over by another tech team, do not step on other people's toes, by the way. They are not all the company politics. Right? So but if people get opportunity to work for startup or medium-sized company, or even like fight for those opportunities to be able to expand their responsibility, that will be a great asset for being able to work in a cross-functional team, talking to engineer, talking to PM, maybe sometimes talking to your customers. And those are all transferable skills that actually equipped AI engineer to be a better AI product manager. Actually, you have a shortcut to success compared with any type of other engineers.
Right. That is great to hear. I think anyone who's listening to this podcast should know they should go for it. The AI folks. Now I think a little more technical question, which is many data teams traditionally have never had dedicated PM so far. Like I have never had a dedicated PM for my team for almost like 8 years now. So this AI PM role is catching up. One of the biggest problems we still see, McKinsey report, all of these reports say that greater than, 60-70% of AI projects still don't reach the actual users, they don't create any business value. So how does an AI PM deal with this? And specifically, how can AI folks like, data scientists and engineers leverage their expertise to gain an edge here?
Great question. And actually, it is true. 70%, I think more than 70% of the project
Right.
didn't really reach the market, which is also quite sad, to be frank. You create amazing engineering like innovation, and then nobody
Right.
use it, which is also one of my motivations. Actually, do not want to continue my research path. I got a PhD in material
Right.
science, and after my
Right.
PhD advisor, no, my internship advisor told me that take them 15 years turn any research into a real product to the market. I was like, God, my kids will already go to high school 15
I
years, and
know.
I have one story to tell my kids about what I did. So yeah, exactly. I think the main reason, first of all, understand the reason, right? I think number one is that people lacking the framework, how to really turn research or any kind of theoretical ideas into a real product.
Right.
And number two, people are also lacking the strategic initiatives and to really test out your product early.
Right.
And the other third reason, I think, are just in general, people have like really high theoretical expectations. Just saying the hell, you know what, maybe AI hype, people do something about
Right.
AI and hopefully gonna raise some funding, and then VC gave you lots of funding, and
Right.
then you test out, oh, it's not what we thought, but anyway, you got funding anyway. So it's a many different
Right.
reason
Right.
leading to it. But let's go through the better framework to really hit the product fast and make it
Right.
real product. And actually, inside our AI PM bootcamp, we in the last cohort, we launched 8 real life AI product within 8 weeks. We
Oh, wow.
had
Okay.
32 PMs and also like 40 engineers. Together, we launched 8 AI product within 8 weeks. Literally within 2 months, you make it happen. And we have real user engagement. Anybody who is interested in any of our AI product, we launch and let us know. We can send you the login. You can play with those, and lots of them are looking for early adopters to
Nice.
use their product as well, right? So now
Right.
here's a framework, and lots of people didn't use. We actually invented inside of AI PM bootcamp ourselves. So the framework looks like there are like four key elements. And number one is product strategy, which we use. I personally invent Benny framework. I invent another thing called Gucci framework, create product strategy. Everyone can just go
Right.
to my YouTube channel and watch the Gucci framework. You can also link it in the
Right.
description of the show note. For
Yep.
now, just give you a framework high level. Number one, you create product strategy. And number two, there is a unique loop, which is called the AI hypothesis loop. You need to verify if AI or ML models can actually solve the problem for customers, or it's just like idea. Right, it's an AI hype idea. And now there
Right.
is a specific framework within the AI loop I like to share with you guys. So the framework we invented in the AI hypothesis loop, starting from, first of all, you need to have AI hypothesis, right?
Right.
So your assumption is I'm going to generate, for example, like a AI interviewer. Inside the PMAccelerator, we have 3 AI product getting developed right now for our students. Actually, we have AI interviewer so that people can do unlimited mock
Okay.
interview with Dr. Nancy Lee, right? Which,
Nice. Okay.
as example, right? So you have AI
Right.
hypothesis, which is you assume, can AI actually provide very customized feedback to the standard that Dr. Nancy Lee has, right? And can
Right.
AI also being able to create those kind of avatar? Because the requirement I want my team to build, not just like provide written text. No, they want to literally have interview, do mock interview with Dr. Nancy Lee's face document city's reaction, document city avatar, and the same kind of level of content and the standard I've created for my communities, right? So there's the AI hypothesis. Can AI really do this, right? So you have your own AI hypothesis. And next part is data strategy. Where you collect the data, how do you build data pipeline? And the third part is AI POC, AI like proof of concept, which is you test out, can really do it, right? Now, next part is validate input output with customers. So, which is you build a POC, you say, oh, let's Harini today do marketing with Darkness AI, right? And then is the input and output satisfied, right? So do Nancy AI really give you the best outcome and help you to land a product manager job, right? So all those are the AI hypothesis loop. Only after you finish this loop, you can go to next loop, which is a traditional product management loop, which is how you do like voice customer interviews, understand their pain point, and create the MVP and bring it to customers, right? So those are traditional loop, but you must understand the AI can actually solve the problem first before you actually build the product. Now, the fourth step is actually AI scalability, which including how would you scale and generalize the AI strategies, and how would you automate the new data to fine tune your model, how to scale your domain market. Maybe we can go beyond just the AI interviewer for document city. Maybe we do it for all industry, may not just be product management, maybe any kind of interview, maybe behavior interviews, maybe scale into next level, right? Many different things could happen, right? This is all scalability, and also it exploits your data advantage as well. So those are the fourth pillar, that's the scalability. So so that's why you need to start from strategies to the AI hypothesis, and then do traditional like MVP, and then you scale your product so that you can go from 0 to 1 and 1 to 100. Those kind of growth, hockey stick growth. Yeah.
No, this is perfect, Dr. Nancy. So I really like your, approach of having an AI product strategy and superimposing that on a traditional product strategy, and having those two sets. So here, adding a quick note to the audience of the Product Bulb podcast. Anyone listening here, if you add a code saying Product Bulb, you will get a $500 off discount from Dr. Nancy Lee's PMAccelerator course. So definitely go check it out. Dr. Nancy, like if you want to add anything regarding your course and the special offer,
yes. So yeah, feel free to directly go to my website, PMAccelerator.io, to learn more. But I also want to offer some free resources. The framework I invented actually free, because I really want to everybody like have the best framework to create the amazing AI product. That's how our like student was able to create product fast. And you can actually learn the framework I mentioned in our free AI PM workshop. You can go to my website, PMAccelerator.io/AIPM. So you can go check it out over there. You have a free AI PM workshop over there, and which I dive deeper into this framework. So I really want everybody, let's reuse the same framework. Let's recreate the best AI product. We can also link it in the description, show notes, so you can learn more for free for those new framework we invented.
Yeah, excellent. I'll add all this information in the show notes. Thank you, Dr. Nancy. So I think the next question perfectly segues into something specifically for data scientists and machine learning engineers. If you have a title as a data scientist or an ML engineer or any such sort, how do you think they should approach applying to product roles given today's insane market and insane competition?
Yeah, the market is very competitive. Let me show you some data. It's like crazy, but there's also new opportunities as well. Okay. So first of all, the entire AI market is growing 37% year over year. If you look up any job openings, search on LinkedIn or Google, any kind of like product management job openings, and it's at least between 10 to 30% of the job openings saying that they want someone who is going to work on AI ML or integrate AI ML to their roadmap, do something about AI ML. It will be on their job description, between 10 to 30%. right? Depends on how you search and where you search, right? So there's definitely much higher demand. Everyone is getting into the space right now. Eventually, all PMs will be able to do something about AI ML. Now, the second part regarding how competitive the job market is. Can you imagine I hired AI engineers to work for AI PM bootcamp, to work with my students to create the AI real life AI product and also create the like AI chatbot. We are creating 3 products: AI chatbot, AI interviewer, and also AI resume writer inside PMAccelerator. I only post 1 job opening. Guess how many AI engineers apply for this job?
I'm sure more than 500, maybe 1,000. I don't know.
2,000
Oh my
within a
God.
week. Within a week.
I can believe it. Yeah, I can believe it. I've seen the market.
It's crazy, right? 2,000 within 1 week. I don't even have time to review all the like submissions and interview all of them. It's crazy. But my point is, we are a small company, to be frank. We're the best in product management training and coaching certification, helping people land a job, but we're small compared with Google, Meta, any of those companies, significantly smaller, but we had 2,000 applicants. Can you imagine how many applicants you get when you apply for like more well-known companies, 10 times more, 1 times more, right? And not to mention AI PM. AI PM nowadays getting on average 30% higher than traditional PM. I just published a new YouTube video yesterday about AI PM salaries, and literally collect a lot of real life data on internet and show you the numbers 30% higher. So competition is very severe. Okay. But there's always a way to break in. We have students currently interviewing for Netflix for over $700,000 per year jobs as well. So it's like many opportunities to get there. So now let me show you, if you're AI engineers, AI scientists, how you actually break into product management and outbeat your competition. The most important part is, number 1, you must create a product portfolio. Okay. So literally, why do you think you're better than other 2,000 or 5,000, 10,000 applicants out there? PMA has 2,000 applicants. How do I know which one is better? So everyone must create a product portfolio regardless. Number 1 thing. We have free product portfolio training as well on our website. You can go to PMAccelerator.io/masterclass to learn more about product portfolio strategies. So go there and learn more. We also have many on my YouTube channel. We also have the free training, free tools, 5 different tools. You can create your own product portfolio. We can send you guys the link to the YouTube videos as well. So number 1, create a product portfolio. Number 2, you must really need to master how to speak the language of a PM as an AI engineer. Because let's say you can hire someone to create a product portfolio for you, but I guarantee it's better you create your own, by the way. So let's say you have a product portfolio already. You hire someone to write your resume, make it perfect. You have interview opportunities. Once people start to test your AI knowledge, you don't have it, or you don't speak like an AI PM, you're just far behind right away. All right. And the third strategies I recommend everyone to do is actually use LinkedIn as a leverage to become the LinkedIn influencer, or doesn't have to be influencer. So I'm a LinkedIn top voice, right? So the highest level through LinkedIn, that's a LinkedIn influencer level, but you don't have to be influencer. You can just share anything about AI to show your thought leadership. And then once you start to build your thought leadership about AI product management, and then you can start to use your profile to connect with other existing product managers, hiring managers. Now think about this. If you don't have any followings or don't post anything on LinkedIn, and then you reach out to other people, so, oh, another person reached out to me. But whenever I reach out to other people, I can tell you, oh, she has a LinkedIn top voice blue label. She published lots of great content about like product management and AI in general every single day. Her content is great. So I like to see what she has to say. At least they will accept the LinkedIn invitation, right? So therefore, I recommend people also like polish your LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn content, your description about me of LinkedIn. Everything is a branding strategies for everybody to grow a network on LinkedIn. So make sure to leverage the top 3 strategies. More than, of course, resume, everything standard, but those are advanced strategies people need to leverage to stand out from the competition.
No, thank you so much for that. You actually answered my next question as well, which was, what are some specific tips for AI professionals, like, which can land the PM interviews or roles. So yeah, awesome. So
I'd like to
I
add
think
more regarding interview part.
yeah.
What I found out regarding
Mm,
the interview, assume you already landed interview, right? So
okay.
I have actually done lots of mock interview for AI engineers
Yeah.
and for also have lots of students inside PM
Mm,
Accelerator. Each time when I
right.
talk to them, especially at the beginning of those training and coaching, I realized
Mm,
big problem. Um, it is not behavioral interview. People may say, oh, I just need to use STAR framework to do
sorry.
behavior
Yeah.
interview. No, 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 no. STAR framework is trash. Seriously, guys, throw it away. We invented a new framework called Grail framework, and we have those free
Right.
framework on my YouTube video. People channels
Right.
go learn for free, right? But my point is, it's more than just say some stories. It's
Right.
about, are you able to hit all the PM keywords? Let me give you some specific examples.
Right.
For example, we have some consultant. The same
Mm-hmm.
kind of language, they will say this. They will call the stakeholders is I present to executives. I host workshops. I generate those proposals. But for
Right.
product managers, will say the following. I present to our customers. I conduct voice customer interviews through one-on-one meetings to understand the needs, desire, pain point.
Mm-hmm.
And I create product requirement documentation to show all the needs and desire from customers and translate into engineering facing requirement and acceptance criteria. We did the same thing, but the consultant highlight things. Our executive present to CEO. Who cares? Product
Right.
managers, we care about customers. I talk to 300 people before I create PM
Right.
Accelerator program, right? That's what we are the best program in the industry. Like all the tier one companies that have student working there, like our student getting paid as like $800,000 per year, right? It's like,
Right.
yes, is we care about customer. We don't care about executives. I
Right.
never tell other people. I create PM Accelerator because I talk to CEOs of Google. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Doesn't
No,
matter.
this is perfect. Yeah, this is amazing. So the takeaway here is use the right keywords, and present your story in a product framework or with the keywords that you know is used in the product world, or get familiar with it.
Yeah, exactly. I have free
Right.
guide for all of you guys actually. Um I have written the end-to-end product management um,
Mm,
roles and responsibilities with full
okay.
description.
Okay.
And also all the roles responsibility equals all the
Right.
keywords, and you guys can
Right.
check it out. I'm going to send you a link, and you guys all can like download the PDF guide, very comprehensive guide. And on my YouTube
Right.
video channel, we also have the resume keywords you can put on your
Right.
resume as well. I'm gonna send it to you guys, and you can like download in the show note later on.
Nice. Yeah, perfect. I will add all these links for you guys in the show notes. So this episode actually is turning out to be almost like a mock interview for AI professionals for a product management role. It is amazing. Right. So yeah, I think we've talked about a lot of AI specific topics for going into product. So so are there any other steps, other than courses, certifications, building a portfolio? Should they consider focusing on any specific product areas? Or should they focus on like a broader product management skills? Is there any other tips that you think we should add?
I believe there's a sequence things need to do. Number one is literally learn product management knowledge,
Right.
because if you don't have the foundations, you don't know how to do it right. Even you want to build a product
Right.
portfolio. Like myself, I
Right.
learned product management from MIT. I also understand not everyone was able to go to MIT,
Right.
but you learn. I even go to my YouTube channel. We have lots of free training. I literally
Right.
have people actually told me that our free training on YouTube channel is actually better than other programs like paid programs as well. Just
True. I can attest to that. I have personally, taken a couple of courses, one very expensive one, which I could have pretty much learned from, your lots of amazing YouTube videos that you had posted. And yeah, uh, so I think the thing that I like about the PM Accelerator course that I have, looked at, and I have attended your webinars and everything, is how strategic it is towards landing that PM role. Like, there's no reason why you would learn all this unless you actually get to execute into product building, and you can do that only if you get a job or you create your own company or a product. So yeah.
Thank you for endorsing that. And so now I do want to emphasize, regardless you do pay program or free program, learn product management knowledge. That's the number one thing. Okay, so go to our YouTube channel, learning for free. We have lots of free template, free examples. Just start learning for free, right? Number one thing. Or you want to do paid one. Either way, it's figure out which is the best one in the industry. And now, this is the number most important thing you guys must do. And number two, then you create a product portfolio. Now, people always ask me this question: do I need a certification? Short answer is not really. Product portfolio is more important than certification. But inside the PMAccelerator, we give you certification anyway, because showing that you're our alumni. But like a hiring manager really want to see, do you really know how to build a product, and with a real life hands-on experience as example, right? This, so therefore, focus on learning and building is way more important than certification. And of course, we help you out with certification just for the purpose of branding yourself on LinkedIn as well. Now, third part, I also want to highlight for everybody important things to do, which is, do not just say it, you know how to do it. You really need to execute it. For example, when you build a product portfolio, you need to do voice customer interview. How many do you talk to? Do you know how to ask the right questions? You literally need to talk to 20 people to create those like a voice customer interview result, so that you're able to really generate insight. And maybe after voice customer interviews, you discover that, oh, whatever we put out, the solutions is not able to solve problems for other people. Well, in that case, it's not necessary. Maybe we should pivot. And then you pivoting stories is also going to help you stand out in the job interview, because our product manager pivot, right? So those are real life experience is extremely, extremely important. And so that's why when we create our AI PM bootcamp, actually we have many different programs. One is focused on job hunting, product management, broader training. That's one AI PM bootcamp, which for AI PM bootcamp, we have software developer build real life product with you together. So now for people, let's say you don't want to pay to enroll any program, by all means, don't do it. But it's important you do the same strategy. So you still bring your friends who are software engineer who can build a product with you together, right? So the methodology stay the same. So therefore, there's no shortcut to success. The element is the same. So therefore, I recommend you guys take those courses anywhere you can find, build a product portfolio, and get hands-on experience, really build a real life product. That's the only way for you to really build your successful product management career and break into the product management space in the tech companies.
Awesome. That is very strong advice. I think you have your I think webinars on how to build a product portfolio. So I think we are coming to the tail end. I don't want to take up a lot of your time, Dr. Nancy. So are there any final words on your course? It is PMAccelerator.io. Is there anything specific for AI folks that you want to highlight?
Oh, yes. And actually, we have 4 different programs within PMAccelerator. If you're interested in end-to-end support until you land product manager job, and we have PMA Pro, which including teaching you product management knowledge, and plus the additional unlimited job referrals, unlimited mock interviews, you have 4 times per week live coaching with us, with unlimited one-on-ones with us, right? So those are focused on building your skills, product management skills, plus interview and also referral support, and with offer guarantee. And we also have the second one, which is AI PM Bootcamp. That's focused on building the real life AI product with a team of developers, data scientists, and designers. That's mainly designed for people who didn't have any hands-on experience building an AI product. So it's time to really have a team of developers who really build it in real life as well. And on top of that, we also have more advanced program for people who are very senior, for example, PMA leader, PMA power skills. Those are for people who are already director, who want to upgrade their level, or someone already senior PM, want to upgrade their career into directors through the internal promotions. But PMA Pro is our most famous program, which is designed for both aspiring PM or senior PMs, mainly focused on landing their high-paying job offer.
Right. Excellent. I will add all these information, all the links in our show notes. I think this has been an amazing episode, Dr. Nancy. A lot of takeaways, especially for AI folks. So I think this is super useful. Has had multiple mock interview questions itself. So that in itself is like an amazing takeaway from this. So yeah, awesome. I think wrapping up, quick pointers on where, if the folks want to connect with you, is LinkedIn or Twitter, like is there any specific way you would like people to connect with you? Yeah, and the final the question that I generally ask all the guests here is, what is your favorite product? It's a special question for you because you are a product leader. So yeah.
Yeah, I discovered my favorite product for sure. And first of all, let me show you guys where to find me.
Right.
You can directly DM me on LinkedIn. I'm very accessible on LinkedIn. All the DMs through LinkedIn will definitely reply to you, usually within 24 hours. Feel free to have any other questions, DM me on LinkedIn. Now, second part, you can also follow me on all the social channels. It's all on the same name, Dr. Nancy Li, especially YouTube. I have lots of free training. YouTube, Dr. Nancy Li, Director Product, and of course, TikTok and Instagram. But the best way to really DM me and ask more of tailored questions is LinkedIn and free learning on YouTube. We also have our own Product Insider podcast, which I invite all the VP of product from Google, senior director from Google, and also we're also talking to someone from Meta and head of product from TikTok. All of those people already spoke on my podcast. You can start learning there and doing your gym and workout. That's more in-depth, long training as well. Also have sample mock interviews, like end-to-end mock interviews from like Microsoft product managers, and you can take a look and start learning for free over there as well. Now, your second question regarding my favorite product, and literally I discovered a new one. It mind blown. So it's a product called Dovetail, Dovtail. It's a product called Dovetail, and it's a new product. However, once they start to check it out, I start to recommend our students inside of PMAccelerator and also AI PM Bootcamp to use the tool to do voice customer interviews, because that product actually solved the trouble of all the operational challenges for all product managers. For example, the product is designed to get a customer insight. And then, as I mentioned, I interviewed 300 people. Right. And then I need to take notes and see any patterns and turn it into a unique product insight, all of those. And this is just for my own like startup idea. Now, what if you're working for large enterprise companies and your manager really want to say, hey, tell me about the insight, give me a report, all of those. That's a lot of operational element goes into it. So Dovetail itself was able to directly record the voice customer interview and have the transcription, and then help you find patterns and also generate user stories and give you different tags, and then any kind of a new features and ideas you have, and then can link back to the original clips of voice customer interviews to highlight this has come from there. It's like very end-to-end integrated experience. And literally Dovetail didn't sponsor me to speak on your podcast for them, but I was like, wow, this is crazy. And I reached out to them directly. I was like, I found that this is very good. I want my students to use it. And then I negotiate with them, say, hey, anybody who's inside PMAccelerator, you should get access to Dovetail for free. And it's I negotiate with them saying that, hey, this is the best product I really love. I want my student to use it. And so you should give my student discount. I negotiate with my student because I really love it. So I recommend people to check it out as well, all those free tools. Very exciting.
Definitely. This is awesome. Product Bulb has a new section called Product Bulb Spotlight. So maybe I can deep dive on Dovetail and see where that research goes. So yeah, awesome. Thank you, Dr. Nancy Lee. I will add all the amazing resources that you had mentioned in the show notes. I have looked at multiple episodes of your podcast. I really loved the one with I think a AI person from Apurva Joshi from MongoDB.
Yeah.
I've had the pleasure of hosting her in a panel, so in an AI panel 2 years back, I think.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, so yeah, I really recommend everyone to go check out Dr. Nancy Lee's podcast. But yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Nancy. This was amazing.
Yeah, thank you for having me.